Hey everybody, my name's Diana. Welcome to my new channel. So this is my first time doing a live build on YouTube of City Skylines. I've been playing the game for a couple years, so I know it pretty well. What you see here is a really nice map I'm excited to share. To be 150 units this way. And these wider streets kind of cut that a little bit, but I really don't care. It doesn't have to be perfect everywhere, but it has to look nice. One thing you'll notice, and it may be controversial, I don't care. I play with unlimited money on. I do want the city to function, I want the traffic to work, I want it to have everything the way the game works, I want the people to be happy, all of that. But my top priority is making a nice looking city. Number one, that's all I care about truly, is making something that's beautiful. And I find that with money and milestones, you can do that, but I just like to do it this way. So I'll probably do about 2 more on this side, 2 more up here, and then I'll start placing some things down. I am guilty of just laying out neighborhoods for days and having nothing in them for my entire build, because it's just so much fun, even these boring grids. I think that looks pretty good so far. Cool. And then I'm going to connect this up to the highway. I haven't figured out the best way to do this yet. It is an elevated road here. And that is how it is in downtown Salt Lake. But I think this is still going to go out to here. So I'll delete those pillars in a second here. You know what? That's actually not bad. I might keep them. Let me think about it. So there's a couple ways I can do this. I do expect this to be pretty heavily trafficked. And that's not good. I do have some pre-installed interchanges. I'm gonna take a look at those. I haven't really planned this part out, but there's a couple. Let's see. So many. So I could do a spooey, but I don't think that's quite realistic for the area. But it might function well. I also really like this single point park low. It's nice, but the problem with this one is the highway's not elevated, and it's just kind of another one, diverging partial cloverleaf. Same thing. So this one might work. I can also, sometimes what I like to do too is take these interchanges and just use them as a guide for my own work. So that Milwaukee B looks nice. Yeah, I think I'll do that one for now. It's probably gonna back up quite a bit. And how I typically do this to use as a guide is I'll actually just place it right over the existing roads. So I have Anarchy on. You can do it with Control A to toggle it, but I'll just place it over the existing roads. And I know, that looks freaking stupid, right? It's so silly. But that's just kind of the groundwork, like the bones of it all. What I mainly just want is these ramps, because I'm gonna do something with these ramps to connect it up right. So I'm gonna delete all of this. I know this is kind of a tedious way of doing it. It's really weird, but this is how I like to do it sometimes. Especially just when I don't know what kind of interchange I want to make, I'll do this. And I do prefer to make my own a lot of times, but when I'm just getting started with a city, sometimes it just helps to have these sort of templates on hand. So now I've got the basic template here, and I have to play with the heights to really get it right and probably move things around quite a bit. Is there one more under there? There is. Okay. So, as you can see, total mess. Total mess. So, what I really want to do here, because I don't know exactly how they're all cooked up right now, is I'm going to put the original as a guide over here, just so I get an idea of like where everything's supposed to sit. So, whoever created this made some cool intersection marking tool stuff. I'll probably come back and do that. I'm still learning that intersection marking tool. I know how to use it a little, and I know they've done some cool things with it, but it's like one of those mods that it's taken me some time. It takes a lot of thought, but it is really cool. So what I see here is these roads are connected here. So that's good to know. So what I'm going to do now, oops. Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. No. This is my thought process. It takes me forever to figure these things out sometimes. And just to connect this up, I'm gonna go straight. That obviously looks so stupid, but they're just guidelines for now. I'm gonna replace this later. It's definitely not gonna flow right forever. It's kind of a low capacity interchange, I think, but it looks really pretty, and that's what I'm all about. I want my city to look nice. So, as you can see, it comes from the highway. This one sort of curves up and then around. So that might be a problem. I might actually, So it curves up and around. So you see this one comes off the highway, so let's do that. And I'm using these concrete highways. I like the way they look. They're not quite as accurate as the North American freeways, which I feel like are probably a better representation, but these just look so much cleaner from, they look so much cleaner from the air. I think that the North American freeways look a little weird when you zoom out of them. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm going to connect this up here. And then I'll delete that. Yeah. And then I'll delete this too. First. Okay, slope is fixed. I think I need to go into node controller. Yeah, there is something really weird about this one. What's this side? It is. There we go. Okay, it's all connected up. Last thing I want to do is just smooth out some of this yucky heights here. Make it look really nice. Same with this. I don't know. I wanted these to be really close together, and I haven't figured out a good way to kind of let them. I think maybe this might be better. Oh yeah, much better. Because I noticed too, in the game the highways tend to be drawn together relatively far apart like this. And that's good for like ground level, kind of long stretch rural highways. But in the city, I noticed that especially these elevated roads, they're really close together. They're probably actually part of the same section. They're probably built together too, but anyway. The last thing I want to do on this is just maybe get this height going. Yeah, that'll be okay. Okay, good to go. Let's do the lane mathematics. All that. Yeah, that'll fly. Okay. And if it doesn't, I'll fix it. So that way everything's connected up. I'm not going to convert this to 4 lanes. I know 2 plus 2 does not equal 3, but 4 lanes is overkill here. The traffic will have to suffer. I'm also not going to convert that down to 1 lane. There we go. And that's it. It's connected. So now I have my first interchange and the downtown grid partially drawn out. The next thing I want to do is actually come out of this area and lay out some utilities. And I have this, if you look, I have this area kind of set aside for utilities. For this, I'm going to draw a very simple road out of here. Probably, no, I'm going to do just the 2 lane. And how I'm going to do this is, I imagine that this is sort of where, and it's not in real life, but this is sort of maybe where the city gets its water, like a reservoir. So I'm going to put water pumps probably on this side, but I also just want to have a general kind of utilities campus here, where all the main utilities for the city go. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to drag a road right here, and that is not the right. Let me see what the heights look like. Yeah, no. I'm going to bring it further, because I forgot this is kind of high up. It's kind of... I'm going to do it at the bottom of the slope. The other thing, I want that to match the highway as closely as possible. So I'll probably start over. Thanks for sticking it around and watching, everybody. I know this is kind of a tedious, boring episode to start. I hope not, but just getting everything laid out and going. I promise you, pretty soon we're going to have a living, exciting city. And I'm going to do lots of detailing. There we go. So that's another kind of flat, straight road. I do want this to be terrain height. And then here, I want to just do a real simple diamond interchange. No, I'm going to do a trumpet. This one I know how to make on my own. It's not hard. But I want to come 12 units off of here. And then I'm going to delete that, 12 units. And then I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to raise it up. I find that 9 meters is kind of an ideal height. So I have my elevation step at 3, and I just tap page up 3 times. And then 9 meters again, and then what do I do here? Is if I'm going to do a trumpet, that's right. I'll probably come out using this one. 12, and then 12? No, that's too big. 9 to 9 to 9. So really simple. Let me get those heights going. The slope's gotta look good. Can't be that messy. And then what I do here is I'll get my 1-lane highway ramp. And I'll actually come in this way, I think. It doesn't even have to be that long. And then this one, come out this way. Like that. It's kind of ugly. But I'll fix it up in a second. I want to get these connected. Yeah, that's not clean. I need to fix this side. I think it's gonna come out a little longer, elevated. Either there, and then I'll put it to ground level. When I'm not on camera, my builds look so much nicer, I promise. Okay. This... that's okay for now. It's probably gonna be fixed later, just so that it's a little cleaner. Ooh, what the heck? Goodness. There. Now just use the terrain tools and smooth this out a little bit. And that'll do for now. And finally, start time to place some buildings down. First thing I'm gonna do though is draw another like side road here. I'm gonna look at the terrain, make sure it's nice and flat. And this is where the main power plant's gonna be. So I have this really cool, really large coal power plant that I like to use. This one. It's literally just called large coal power plant. And I want it to sit on the side road like that. And then what I'm gonna do is create some parking lots here. I just want it to come out forward. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna have a parking lot behind it. There we go. Is there an extra node here? No. Sometimes it creates extra nodes really close together when I do that. I don't like it. Okay. So I have this really great parking lot asset. I gotta find it. And the zoning's weird, so how I can fix that. You know what? I'm actually gonna drag a fence. I think that'll look cool. On the sides? What's a good one? What one of the vanilla fences? This oil industry fence looks nice for here. So I'm gonna turn off my road guidelines and just kind of bring it along here. And that'll get my zoning nice and clean so I can do these parking lots the way I want. There we go. Yeah. Perfect. And then I'm going to fill this all in with concrete using Surface Painter. So the concrete tool can be a little touchy. I feel like my time of day, something's a little weird. I think it needs to just be brighter. Yeah, that looks better. There we go. So that's the power plant. Next thing I'm gonna drop next to it, I have this water treatment plant. Where is it? This one. I'm gonna put that right there. This happened to me last time I did the build too, is that this kind of stuck on the road. Because I practiced this build before I went on camera. Practiced it last night. I made a whole video and everything. I think I like this go around a lot better. Okay, the next one is this one. Waste disposal unit. I think it comes from the Japanese creator pack. I have all the packs and DLC. And this is just a really nice one too. Yeah. Because basically what I want them to see when they're driving down the highway, coming along here, is just these awful smokestacks when you get into the city. I know it's ugly, I know it's terrible, but there's gotta be some place to put it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to put down is these water pumps. These large water pumping stations. They're kind of weird looking, but I think they'll work. And I'm just going to place down 2 of them. I hope they're not too close to pollute. If they are, I will move them. So one thing I need to address as well is I have a mod called Remove Need for Water Pipes. As much as I really do like doing this and dragging the water pipes all the way under the road, right where they belong, right? Exactly where they belong. I don't do it anymore. The reason I don't do it is not because I don't like it, because it's fun. It's like part of the experience. Is these take up a lot of nodes, and the game has a limitation on how many nodes and segments you can use. And I hit the node count in one of my cities that I worked like almost a year on, and I was really sad about it. So I downloaded this mod and just deleted all the water pipes. Got twice as many available nodes for roads right there. The one thing about it though is you do have to at least connect the buildings to a water pipe for them to function. But other than that, yeah, it saves a lot of nodes. It's great for doing these sort of semi-functional sandbox builds. Obviously, it's a little more controversial if you want to just play the game as it's intended, but hey, this is how I play. Everybody plays different. So I really like these power lines. They're sort of these rural transmission lines. I've seen them like all over the middle of the country, and they just look really like they carry a lot of power, but they look really rural, and I like that for this area. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put this along this road and then sort of near the highway. Maybe not quite up against it, but just kind of mirroring it to here. And then I'll actually bring it across the highway for this, because that interchange is going to be hard to get around. And these are all temporary for the most part. I'm probably going to delete most of these once I actually have some buildings in place. But I just want to get the power there. Okay. And I will bring that there. So it's connected up. Now, this downtown area, I do want to plop all the buildings here, so I want to take a lot of care with it before I actually do anything with it, develop it. So I'm gonna start, there's a couple of ways that I can do this to start the city. I can either just zone this all out and then destroy it later, or if you look at my districts here, I have a number of districts. This is sort of the downtown. There's this neighborhood in Salt Lake City called the Avenues, and it's mostly residential, and I wanted to kind of mimic the way it looks. So it's a really tight grid that's half the size of the downtown grid. I measured it out, it's exactly half. But just because it looks better to scale, I'm not gonna make it quite that. But I am going to make it pretty small. I've decided on a 9x9. It's enough to get some more than just these tiny little houses. It's enough to get some decent sized houses. I'm actually gonna drag it down to here. And what I want to do from here is kind of create the end of downtown. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to drag this out a little longer up here. Let's find a good, look at those districts again. Let's find a good height line there. And that third height line, I'll end it there. It's not quite an interval of 15, and though I want it to be an interval of 15 just so that I can keep consistency. So we'll do 30. And then what I'm gonna do here is this is sort of the start of the residential area. And this one, I'm gonna do 180 here. Quite a lot, but let me look at my districts again. Yeah, and I'll do less over here because I'm gonna do something different there. I think you can tell what it is by reading. I'll just do 45 here. And then how I'm gonna start this. So I want this to sort of terminate into two one-ways. And the way I've drawn it out doesn't work perfectly, so I might change that. Let's see, 9. And then 9 here. And in Salt Lake, this neighborhood does go up into the hills a bit, and it's just kind of this flat grid until it gets into the mountains. But there are some one-way streets. No, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna delete this one. And here, oh, this is my favorite thing in cities when they do this. I don't know why. I find it, I find it kind of official or endearing. I don't know what it is. It's just planning. But when these roads that are two-way kind of terminate into a one-way and create these little patterns, I just think it looks really neat. So I'm gonna do that there. And then, let me just get my directions going right. And then for the rest of this, it's all gonna be these, probably some of them I'll have lines, but most of them are gonna be these little unmarked streets. That is how it is in the real area. And I'll probably, yeah, I'll go up 5 this way. So 45. Right? No, 36. Okay. So that's 4. But I have something really special planned for like the middle of the neighborhood. It's mostly a residential area, but there's a couple little spots of commercial, and I want to bring those in, and I want to do something a little special. Okay, so that's where I'll stop it. So let me just fill this all in here. I am going to leave this flat part open here because it's relatively flat, and that's where I'm going to do the thing I want to do. And I'm going to flatten it up a little more actually. I'll do it here. And then I'll make sure this is all even. Okay. I'm gonna save that for something, but I'm gonna get some zoning in. Finally, I can start the actual city. Okay, let me just drag the power down and we'll get this going. Here we go! So the city really needs a fire department. I have a bunch of different cute little fire department assets. I wonder how big this one is. Let me look at that. Yeah, that looks great, but I don't want it on this side. I don't want it on the main road. I want it on one of these little side streets. That is still a main road. So let's bring it maybe over here. Oh, the last thing I need to do, I forgot, is I have a theme attached that I want to use for the residential. And it's this one. And I just picked some buildings that I felt like they sort of looked like generally they could be in this part of the country. They're not perfect. It's really hard to get like a lot of good like West Coast and Southwest type assets. I find most of the US assets are sort of either Midwestern or East Coast. There's a lot of good ones from California. But sort of like this part of the country, there's a lot of houses that they have their own kind of look to them, but I got stuff that was pretty close. So I'm gonna delete the ones that have already come in. And as you can see, that terrain is not the best, but when I go in detail and hand plop, I'm gonna make some of that look nicer. Yeah, I have so many assets that if I just zone without themes, it looks like a mess. Like they're just, and I used them all in my previous build. I'm gonna do 2 of them just so they don't complain forever and ever. And with these, you gotta connect them up too. So that should help. I'll come back to this and I'll detail this a little more later. But for now, I want to get this food and drug put in. And those sounds are very loud and very annoying, so I'm sorry. And next time I'm gonna get my settings a little better so everything's more mixed, but I did spend quite some time on this. Okay, I'm gonna turn off day-night because it's getting dark. It's also getting dark where I live. It's like 8:45 p.m. so. I don't live in Salt Lake. I've only been like once. I drove through there. It was nice, but I just like the way it looks, so I want to make a city. Okay. So if I want to do this, is actually an internal road in the back, so that there's like a cargo road. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit to here. And then I'm gonna drag these out a little bit. No. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I can't decide. Put him that way? Or put him this way, like this. No. They look better the other way. Let me do that. And then around here, I think I'm gonna put some other little shops here. Maybe a Starbucks. Let's put a Starbucks. That fit. Yeah. And then I can put some more parking back there. I'll do that. And I'll actually kind of connect these so they're sort of. Yeah, that looks great. And then the other side, let me see what commercial assets I have, because I have a lot of commercial assets. I want something 4 units, I think. What is this one? No, because it already has parking built in. Be a little too suburban. This is more of like a old city neighborhood. I have so many. I might just do it. I might just do Outback or Black Angus. I could do a bank. But there's already a bank inside the grocery store. So many choices. I have so many assets. Okay, let's see. Ooh, Mad Max might be cool. Yeah. That'll be great. I feel like it works. It's like that it's like that restaurant that you go to when you don't you want like decent Mexican food, but you don't care if it's like the most authentic. I feel like that's what that place probably is. I don't know. I live in California, so we have like good taquerias and stuff. I don't know what they have in Utah. I was only there for one day, but I think that works. And then I think in the back, I'll probably put some more parking, just like those same parking lot roads, but like a small little... Yeah, that looks good. And then actually, if I just drag that node out, ooh, let me hold Alt, keep it straight. Yeah, and I'll do it on this side too. And then I'll just, same thing, I'm gonna bring this one down a little. That should also fulfill some of the commercial demand. I find that these big buildings, like, they hit the commercial demand pretty easily, and they have a lot of workers that they need, so... Anyway, that works. And then I'm gonna fence this off with some kind of wall on the back and on the sides. So let me find what I've got. I do like the sound barrier. Let's see. Oh yeah, because there's gonna be more up here, like more houses, and a lot of times in these neighborhoods, like, they want to keep it quiet from the commercial usage, so they'll put a sound wall. But I'm gonna keep the front open and do some trees or bushes. The first thing I want to do though is I want to fill this up with concrete. Excellent. There it is. And then let me get the parking spaces in. I always start with the disabled parking because they're kind of they're more touchy the way that you put them in, because they're not quite... What? Oh, that's big parking. Okay. 1 second. The way that you put them in, they're not quite as... The size of them isn't as big. Where is it? Oh, it's here. So they don't quite match. And also these lines, I just want to get them just right. So I usually start with those. And then with this parking lot snapping tool, you do Control X to unlock it again. And it's really great. Before this came out, it was so hard. You had to place these just in such a weird way. You had to like that. You had to do that to get them just right. And now, they just match. They just mirror it. With those. There. Same side with this. This is the most tedious part. These sort of shopping center builds are my favorite. I love to make them. I love the way they look in the game. They just bring a lot more realism to the game if you're doing a North American type city. But it's so tedious to place these. I wish there was just like roads you could drag out that had the parking lots already in them. That would be cool. That's my wish list. If they ever make a City Skylines 2, it's just roads that have parking lots built in. I don't even know if that's possible. Maybe somebody can make it. I don't know. Perfect. Look at that. These are great too for just covering large areas. There we go. Yeah, that works. And then just the little backspaces. Wrong one. Still have to play with it a little to get it just right, but it's so much better than the way it used to be. Sorry if my game skips a little bit. Like I said, I have like 16,000 assets and like 100 mods, so it's bound to slow a little bit, but my frame rate's usually not too bad. Okay, so the next thing, and then I'm gonna wrap up, is I have these planter networks. And I like this one. I like to put these in between because they're just like pre-built. And they have the trees in them already. And they look really nice in between these parking lots. They're just super clean like that. I might even... No. I think I'm gonna do something else for that. Or maybe just leave those bare. But I think I'll do them here. Yeah. Okay, that looks great. And then I'm gonna drag it out a little further. Make sure it's all the same height. Yeah, this one was a little weird. This one didn't. There. And then the last thing, just kind of fill this in. I don't know why they still don't have heat. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna do one more little row over here. And maybe bring them around here. And that's it. So I'm gonna leave it there for today. I'm gonna do some more detailing on this next time, build out a little more of this neighborhood, and then I will move on to some more of this area, getting the downtown laid out.
Are you a filmmaker
Yeah.
or a content creator and looking for high quality music and sound effects?
So, while I was doing this video and recording it, I made the stupid decision to use royalty-free YouTube music, background music, and an ad popped up. Because I was too lazy to add the music on later, and I like to listen to the music while I'm recording this. So, if you heard that ad, I'm sorry. I promise, I will do better. I will. Here's my city. My name's Diana. Thanks so much for watching.